Right. You first moved to New York City,
Uh-huh.
and then a few years later, you moved to Florida.
Yeah, roughly, yeah.
Now, in Florida, the crimes start again.
Yeah,
You're doing home invasions,
allegedly.
allegedly. Were people home when you were doing this?
I don't recall ever doing it, but I assume that if I did, probably there were times people were home.
Okay. Can you talk about this at all, or not really?
I mean, if I wasn't there, I don't have anything to talk about.
Okay. Fair enough. You're also stealing cars, allegedly.
Allegedly, yeah.
Okay. I mean, at that time, why go to such alleged extremes? Because, doing a home invasion, you could lose your life.
Sure. Especially
Right?
in Florida. We have stand your ground there.
Stand your ground.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, really anywhere.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I've told the story multiple times. I was a victim of a home invasion once, and I thought I killed a person when I walked away, and I didn't feel any type of way about it because he basically attacked me in the place where I was staying at the time.
To me, you don't even got to even justify that he home invaded you. I'm pro-murder, so I don't
Exactly.
even care.
Yeah, I remember walking out, really saying to myself, "Good riddance."
Yeah, sure.
You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah, for sure.
yeah, it was the craziest night of my life. Did you feel like there were certain times where you were going to lose your life?
I've been trying to die my whole life, so I never really feared death. I never really feared the consequence. I was just surviving.
What do you mean you were trying to die your whole life? Explain that.
I'd always been like not shy about like being pro-murder, pro-suicide, pro-death all around.
Pro murder is one thing, especially in self defense, but pro suicide is something else.
Well, it's the same thing. It's like if you were
Is
gonna
it?
let's say this, for example. This is an extreme example.
Okay.
Let's say that you would be willing to kill a rapist. Let's say that you rape somebody. You would kill yourself just the same, right?
I don't know if that's the same.
To me, it's the same. So when someone wants to kill themselves, they probably see something about themselves that they see in other people that they would happily kill if they could. So I have no quarrels about suicide.
So you feel like the guilt of some of the things you were doing made it okay for you to take your own life?
There was a lot of reasons that I would have considered or did consider suicide in my life. But even today, as like a grown man who does not have suicidal ideations or have a desire to kill myself, I have no quarrels about it. I have a lot of friends that killed themselves. And to me, the suicide has the same impact as being murdered or when they die from overdose or die of friends that died in car crashes. I got a friend that died from cancer. Me responding to all of those deaths, my friends that were murdered, my friends that killed themselves, my friends that overdosed, car crash, and the one from cancer, I felt the same about all their deaths.
Yeah, I had a close friend who killed himself, Disco D. He was a producer, did some stuff for 50 Cent, Nina Sky, and so forth. He was bipolar, and he had tried it a few times and didn't succeed. And at one point, he was at his mom's house. He had run out of money and moved back to his mom's house. And she watched his bedroom, and he was hanging from the ceiling. I went to the wake. Mom was a mess. It was a sad day. Did you ever actually try to kill yourself?
Yeah, many times.
Really?
I had a running joke that I was so bad at life that I couldn't even kill myself good.
Okay, how would you do it?
I tried hanging. The hanging one was interesting.
Well, you tried hanging yourself.
Yeah, so it's a whole story. I don't know if I really want to get into all the details, but I had unsuccessfully awoken from one attempt, and I was so angry that I just couldn't pull it off that I learned how to tie a noose. I was living in a motel. I ripped the TV cord out of the back of the wall, and out of the back of the TV, I tied it into a noose, and I went into the woods. And so I tied it on something, and I got something to stand on. And my bigger fear was that the cord was going to snap, and I'd survive that one too. So before I kicked the thing out from my feet, I just dropped my body onto it to make sure the cord would hold my weight. Something nobody tells you, probably because most people don't survive it, is the pain is so intense that it like out-emotioned anything else I was feeling. The pain was just like fight or flight mode. So I grabbed what I was hanging from, I pulled myself up. Something most people don't really talk about is that a noose, the knot itself, doesn't loosen. It stays at its tightest point until it's physically loosened. So even though I'm hanging there from one arm, it's still just as tight as when my full body weight was on it. So I had to take the other arm and loosen it up. And I couldn't get past that pain.
Okay, did you ever try that again?
Nah. The pain was so excruciating that in my head, I was like, I don't know how long it takes to die when you're hanging, but I don't know if I can bear that pain. The physical pain like overtook any other thoughts I had.
Okay, and the other attempts, how'd you do those?
I tried all types of stuff. I tried everything short of like jumping off a bridge or shooting myself.
Okay, so you tried overdosing on pills and
Sure.
everything?
Yeah.
Then you would wake up.
Yeah.
Okay, so at one point, Florida got too hot, so you moved back to New York.
Correct.
Was that when you started getting like the face tattoos and everything?
I started in Florida. Actually, it's not true. I got two face tattoos at the same time for my first face tattoos. And do you remember that show Black Ink on VH1?
Yeah.
Those guys were based in Harlem. That was their only location at the time. And I was living over there. And I knew them. And they'd call me one day and they're like, do you want to get your face tattooed on the show? And I was like, yeah, whatever. And so I just walked in and did that. That was in New York. That was my first time. And I got both my sideburns done. And then after that, basically all my face tattoos were done in Florida. But in the chronological order you're talking about, it started the time that I was in Florida that you're referring to, and then when I went back to Florida.
Okay. I mean, when you get a face tattoo, it's different than getting your arm or your leg or, part of your body that you can cover up and go about as a typical looking American citizen. When you get your face tattooed, you're, kind of going all in. Basically saying, I can't get a regular 9-to-5 job anymore. People are going to look at me and assume certain things. When I'm in hip hop, I see people with face tattoos all the time. I don't think, anything of it. But when you're at a grocery store or whatever else, I'm sure you get the looks and everything else like that. You also attract law enforcement
Sure.
and so forth. So as you're getting it, did you care about any of this?
Yeah, but it's sort of what I was looking for. As I got older, everything that I thought was going to happen did happen. I just didn't have the foresight to take the wisdom of other people around me who had more life experience telling me that what I was thinking is right, but it would be so bad in the future, and it was. So all the way people interacted with me back then is what I was looking to get from it, but that's not the interactions I want today in my life anymore, and I still get that from people. So I've been removing them for 6 years.
Okay. Is that a painful process?
Yeah, but not as painful as living with them.
Okay.